has ravaged Cybertron, homeworld to the Transformers, for millions of years. Megatron, leader of the Decepticons, recently discovered an ancient power that will give him the edge to win over the hated Autobots. Called Dark Energon, this power remains locked away in an orbital station under the protection of a sky commander named Starscream.
Starscream wouldn't fight with such desperation if the legends weren't true.
Lord Megatron, you're certain it's here?
I am certain, Barricade. And when I find it, the balance of this war with the Autobots will finally tip in my favor. Lord Megatron, stabilizers are failing. Maintain your heading, Brawl. Do not falter.
Sublight engines are offline. Shields at 15%.
Reroute all power to forward guns and thrusters. Full speed ahead.
But sir, that's suicide.
Any further objections? Ram this warship straight into the heart of that station.
To have survived that, Megatron.
Hello Autobots and Decepticons, my name is Somongri, and today I'd like to welcome you guys to Transformers War for Cybertron, and this will be a full Let's Play of this, so we will get to it, starting off with Lord Megatron. And this Let's Play is going to be a little bit different, as I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the gameplay as I go along. Instead, I'm going to try to enlighten you guys a little bit on some history of the characters that I'm using, and this is all going to be from like the Generation 1 era, because I am most familiar with that era. Hold on one second here, we are about to hear from our leader, Sky Commander, Starscream.
I am Starscream, and I have protected my station for over 1,000 years.
I am Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. This space station is Decepticon property. Surrender immediately.
Whoever you are, you've traveled a long way just to meet your doom.
Alright, as you guys just noticed, you will see me stop talking during important conversations during this gameplay, and also the cutscenes, so that you guys can enjoy it, because some of the cutscenes are just epic and some are very humorous as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this full Let's Play of Transformers War for Cybertron. We are starting out with the Decepticons here, and we are starting out with the Harbinger of Doom, the evil leader, Lord Megatron. And just to make sure we're all clear, I'm going to be talking about the characters from Generation 1 animated series. I'm not going to touch on any of the comic books, since I didn't read the comic books and I know they were before the series. And also, this is just going to be a fun playthrough. I'm not going to be like searching for any Autobot or Decepticon symbols along the way or doing anything like that. So, Megatron, he's said to be descended from military hardware robots that were created by the Quintessons. And this all took place on Cybertron. Now you may be asking, who are the Quintessons? And that is a very good question. The Quintessons are evil robotic creatures with 5 heads, and these heads rotate around in a circle. If you ever have seen the G1 movies, you guys will know what I'm talking about. Each side has a different face, including the face of death. And these guys were pretty smart, because they went and created all these Autobots and Decepticons on Cybertron, and first they created them for their military purpose, and then the Autobots and the Decepticons didn't like their masters, who were the Quintessons, and they rose up against them, and that is why the Quintessons had to escape and go to their own planet, which they are now protected by the Sharkticons, which would be soon overthrown by the one and only King Grimlock. Me Grimlock say you full of sesame salami. But enough about the Quintessons. Let's talk about the baddest of the bad, Megatron. So after the Quintessons left Cybertron, the Autobots and Decepticons went into war. And obviously, in most wars, the stronger would win, but this time, the Autobots claimed victory because of their ability to transform, which the Decepticons did not have at first. So this was known as the Golden Age of Cybertron, where there was freedom on the planet. But soon, over time, the Decepticons developed the ability to transform. So, being the harbinger of doom like Megatron is, he went and gathered an army of people that thought the same way that he did. So he developed his army, got his commander, Soundwave, and hold on, Starscream's about to talk, so pick up after this.
The ambush is set. They won't make it past us. I shall hold you to that, soldier. Yes, sir.
This is almost too easy.
Brawl. Alright, and then so Megatron gathered this army, and he was looking for energy, so he went into a storage warehouse where he would meet a young Autobot by the name of Oron Pax. And he went in there, stole all the energy, and destroyed this Autobot. But little did he know that this Autobot was then rebuilt by Alpha Trion into a new configuration that could stand up to Lord Megatron, and he was now Optimus Prime. So Megatron, without even knowing it, created his greatest rival in all of the Transformers universe. So this then began Megatron's lust and thirst for power. He would conquer most of Cybertron and drain all of its energy and power. Alright, one more second here. I think the Sky Commander Starscream is going to talk again.
You'd be scrap metal by now. Your survival intrigues me.
I shall not be denied, Starscream. Surrender your Dark Energon program to me immediately!
Dark Energon? Are you mad? Dark Energon brings only death and chaos.
I am counting on it. Megatron, with it, I rip off Starscream's head. Space, please. Patience, Paul. Starscream knows this station inside and out.
So Megatron drained most of Cybertron, but his mission was not complete. He would not settle for that because he wanted to conquer the universe. And so, at this time, the Autobots and the Decepticons had discovered space travel. So this is when the story kind of gets a little crazy, and this is when the animated story comes in. So the Autobots were planning a new space voyage to find some new power because their planet was dying. And Megatron, being the nuisance that he is, boarded the Autobot space cruiser, got into a big battle, and caused them to crash on the planet Earth. And 4 million years go by. So in 1988, this is like the year of the series coming out, this volcano erupts. And it knocks Skywarp back into life because of like the computer hitting something, and it just beamed on Skywarp, and Skywarp then dragged Megatron into this beam, and then Megatron was back into life. So this is where Megatron gets his new form, the Walther P-38 pistol, and which is very crazy because Megatron is the only Transformer that I know of that can transform into any mass that he desires. He can turn into this pistol small enough for Starscream to hold and shoot him like you see a lot, or even small enough for a human. So that's what makes Megatron even more powerful, is his ability to kind of change his mass. And so after Megatron revived the rest of his Decepticon crew that was on the ship, he went out in search of energy. But everybody knows Starscream, and he always wants to get the last laugh. He of course blasted the space cruiser, which then awoke Optimus because his body slid into this beam. From here on out, we get Megatron and the Autobots fighting each other over and over, and you always see them kind of retreat from the Autobots. The Autobots always foil their plan. And there was really never an ending to this cycle until the movie came out, which I will touch on in just a little bit because that has some important history on Megatron as well. But I just wanted to touch a little bit on Megatron's weapons and his forms that you see in this game. In this game, he has the fusion cannon, and this is his primary weapon in the cartoons as well. This cannon is said to be able to level a city block, and it also has another shot that it can use, but you never have seen him use it. It is said to pull energy from a black hole and just maybe destroy like a whole city with this blast, but he has never used it because it drains him so much and makes him vulnerable to anybody that would try to overthrow him then. But even with that said, his fusion cannon is probably the strongest weapon of all the Autobots and the Decepticons, and he also packs that punch in his transformation, even into that little pistol or into this tank form that you see him in this game. And one thing I never really understood about this game is in the multiplayer, they don't give him the fusion cannon, even though it is his primary weapon. They instead give it to the leader form, which Megatron technically is a leader, but his size in this game didn't fit that, so they made him a soldier. So I always thought they should have gave the soldier the fusion cannon. That would have made more sense to me, and if they would have gave the leader, which was Optimus Prime, more SMG options, that would have made more sense to me. But Megatron, definitely not the Decepticon to mess with. He will destroy his own kind for his own purpose, and his purpose solely is to rule the universe, and he will basically stop at no cost and do whatever it takes to rule the entire galaxy. Alright, so the G1 movie, definitely an awesome movie. If you have not seen this movie, I recommend it big time. And this part in the game is pretty cool. If you haven't seen this part or played the game, there's a bunch of Autobot hostages or people that are in chains or Energon chains, and you can beat them up with Megatron. There, I missed that guy, but you can destroy them with Megatron. And if you leave one alive, you will unlock an achievement or a trophy, depends on what system you're playing on, so that's kind of a cool thing to do. But as Megatron is, and as I am feeling his power right now, I will destroy them all. So Megatron definitely displaying his bad behavior right here. So let me see here. I think we might have a cutscene coming up. Let's see what happens here, and then I will talk a little bit about Megatron in the G1 movie. And like I said before, a must-see. Definitely a great movie. It's the first time that you will see the Autobots and the Decepticons actually destroy each other. So let's wait 1 second here. I think air raid's coming up, or Jetfire.
My name is Jetfire. I'm not here to fight.
That makes one of us. Speak your piece, quickly.
I've seen the horrors of what Dark Energon can do, Megatron. It is not to be trifled with. Its power is too unstable. To use it would mean disaster.
You cannot frighten me, Jetfire. I will use Dark Energon as I please.
You are a short-sighted fool. You'll kill us all!
You say that as if it were a bad thing.
Oh,
This
Jetfire.
Dark Energon stuff is worth it, Megatron.
What? What was that? Oh my gosh, what was that? Alright, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta get to that part again. Alright, guys, I am back. And I don't know what happened there. That was like a weird glitch.
Soundwave, report.
We have taken control of this portion of the station and established a base of operations. Scans indicate that Starscream has locked down all logical routes to the Dark Energon reactor.
And we're fresh out of Star Cruisers to tunnel our way.
Quiet. There must be another access point. We have to reach the station's next pod.
Megatron, I have located a nearby data matrix center to reveal any alternate routes of entry to the next pod. Advanced teams have already been set to clear your path.
Then we have no time to waste.
Thank you, Soundwave. You're such a good commander. And I think there's quite a bit of dialogue in this part, so I might not talk as much. And it's kind of important to the story on what is going on at this time. But the next thing was the G1 movie that Megatron is in.
These soldiers look pretty banged up.
Unacceptable. They should be victorious or dead.
They're putting up a good fight, all right.
Then put up a better fight.
Words of wisdom from Megatron.
Megatron, be aware that you face overwhelming odds against Starscream's soldiers. It is statistically unlikely that your advanced teams can defeat all of them. I shall await your word that you have reached the data matrix center.
Alright, Soundwave, thanks for the confidence. But yeah, in the G1 movie, Megatron overhears of the Autobots' need on Earth for help, and so he figures it's the right time to attack. So he overthrows one of the Autobot ships heading there and tries to make a sneak attack, but they are soon found. And so they are in need of reinforcements big time. Hot Rod, RC, I can't remember who else is on that base at that time, but there's a bunch of other people. Cup, they're all trying to hold down Earth, and Megatron's assaulting Earth big time, and they're about to win. But then comes Optimus, and he comes flying in, and Optimus and Megatron pretty much do battle to the death, and Optimus would have finally finished off Megatron if it wasn't for Hot Rod, who got in his way. And Megatron ended up falling anyways, and he was almost dead. So Soundwave carried him off back to Astro Train, and then came the craziest part in the series. Starscream, of course, seeing his opportunity, threw Megatron off the space cruiser and found his chance to become the king, but he did not expect what was going to happen next. Unicron, this giant huge planet, then allowed Megatron a new life and created him and turned him into Galvatron. So Galvatron was then born, an even stronger version of Megatron, but he wasn't as good as Megatron in my opinion, just because he had to obey Unicron. Otherwise Unicron would pretty much power down Megatron and just cause tons and tons of pain to Megatron's body where he could not control himself. And one of my favorite parts in this movie is when Megatron comes in to Starscream's ceremony, and Megatron, I can't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, "Is this an attempt at humor, Starscream?" And Starscream's like, "Megatron, is that you?" And he goes, "Here's a hint." And he transforms into this like tripod cannon and just blasts them and disintegrates them. And then the Decepticons who are in a row look at each other and are like, "What'd they say his name was?" He's like, "Galvatron." And they're all like, "All hail Galvatron! All hail Galvatron!" So that is one of my more humorous, funny, and epic moments in the G1 movie. And like I said, you have to see it. Definitely check it out. I know it's on YouTube. It is for sure worth the watch. I know you guys will all enjoy it. And it's got the old school animation, and I definitely appreciate them making those cartoons back in the day. That must have took a lot of work because they didn't have computers like we do now. So I think we are coming up on another Starscream cutscene, if I'm not mistaken. And boy, does he talk a lot, I tell you.
We've located the holomap. I'm sending the data to you now.
Megatron! You may have gotten this far, but you'll never get your hands on the Dark Energon!
Starscream, this acrimony is needless. I know who you once were, Sky Commander, and that you were betrayed. With Dark Energon, I shall return Cybertron to its former glory, and you to yours, if you agree to serve me.
You're a fool! No one can control Dark Energon!
Starscream, that will not stop Megatron. And the one thing about Starscream and Megatron is they did not really do justice in the Bayformers version of them, because Starscream was always looking to take Megatron over, and in the Bay versions he kind of lost that attitude, and I was really sad to see that, because that was a huge entertaining part in the cartoons and the cartoon movie. That is another reason why I definitely recommend check out the movie to kind of get their original personalities and see how they were originally intended to be. So I'm at around the 20-minute mark here, guys. I think I'm going to stop it here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. Oh yeah, and I really feel this game is underrated, and I want to give the chance for some of you guys to be able to play this game or other Transformers games, which are very good as well, along with this playthrough or just on your own. So for this video, I'm going to give away 3 Transformers games. I'm going to let you guys pick which one you want. You just have to let me know in the comments. Your choices are Transformers War for Cybertron, Transformers Dark of the Moon, and Transformers Revenge of the Fallen on either Xbox 360 or PS3. Then I'm going to give away 3 copies of these, and all you have to do for your chance to win the giveaway is leave a comment, let me know which one you want, what system it's for, and also let me know where you're from. So if you're from the USA or if you're from a different country, so that way I know where it's going and if there needs to be a different version sent over to you guys. And also, in order to win one of these copies, you have to thumbs up the video and add it to your favorites. So I thought this would be a cool little thing here, and I will be picking the winners in 1 to 2 weeks. I want to give you guys enough time to watch this video, so definitely look at the date on this video when it was made if you are thinking about entering into the contest, and know that the contest will end in 1 to 2 weeks. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of Transformers War for Cybertron, and I cannot wait to continue this, and I will see all you Autobots and Decepticons later.